Okay, here we go. Now, again, yesterday for the study guide, let's just review that real quick and then let's jump into the actual review. All right. So I said don't worry about that part of it right there. Who has a question? Somebody came in and was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't graph y equals 3x. All right. I'm not sure what the problem is. We said yesterday it always goes through the origin. Direct variation always goes through the origin. So you were supposed to plot 0, 0 every single time. All right? Then the slope here is what? 3 over 1, right? So from there you just go what? Up 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. And there is your line. That's all there is to it. All right? So just to make sure, number 5, you were supposed to say it goes to the origin, 0, 0. Your slope is down 3 to the right 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? And then from here, you're just drawing your line. That's not bad. All right? And again, just to make sure, 0, 0 up to over 5. Here we go. Yes.
Oh, you're saying negative, you always put the top number as a negative and the bottom as the...
Yeah, but if you wanted to switch it, you could, but it's just easier to go down.
Okay, because I did negative 4.
For which one?
For 5. I did negative 4.
Yeah, so that means you would be up 3, though, and left 4.
Yeah.
Right? So you could have gone up 3, but then you would go left 4, and guess what? You create the same line, but you just at a different location on the line. Okay. All right. Now, just to review, number 7, k is y over x, so k is 4. Then you write y equals 4x. That's your equation. Then you're plugging in 32 for y. 32 equals 4x, so x is 8. Any questions with that?
If you can do this in your head.
Well, you have to answer the questions.
Yeah.
Suppose y varies directly as x. Write a direct variation equation. So you have to write y equals 4x. You didn't. It wasn't necessary to put k, but that's how you find the equation.
So I don't get why you wrote k equals 4 over x.
That's not. That's a y.
I thought that was 4.
Right. Y over x. All right. Now, does anybody need specific help with 7 through 12? Yes.
12.
All right. Let's look at 12. So for number 12, again, I would say k equals y over x, which is 2/3. Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
So now you would write down y equals 2/3 x. Y is negative 16. Negative 16 equals 2/3 x. Multiplied by the reciprocal. So x is equal to, what is that? Negative 24. Easy. Yes?
You do like 11.
11. Here we go. 11. So y over x is 1/4. K equals 1/4. You agree with that? So y equals 1/4 x.
Oh, so it's always going to be y equals.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's always y equals kx. Y equals kx. You good now?
So is that the answer for 6?
So no. When it's 6, plug in. So y equals 1/4 of 6, which is 3 over 2.
Oh, I actually.
All right. Yes.
So like for number 12, I'm kind of confused how you got like the answer.
So do you know this?
Yeah. I know that.
16 divided by 2 is what?
8.
8 times 3 is.
Oh, you just do that?
Anybody else?
I have a question on 15.
Okay, so here it says the total cost of C, gallons of gas, is 3 times the number of gallons. So your cost is 3 times your number of gallons, right?
Yeah.
Or $3, right? So, if you buy 0 gallons, how much does it cost? If you buy 1 gallon, it's going to cost. If you buy 2 gallons, it's going to cost what? And if you buy 4 gallons, it's going to cost $12. So now why did I do that? I just found one so I wouldn't have to. One, that was super easy. Do you agree? Right? Now that makes sense, right? When you go to the gas, go buy gas, it's what, $2.79 a gallon, right? That's a direct relationship. For every gallon you spend $2.79.
I'm really confused on how you made it out that it was 4 gallons and 12 cost.
Well, if you buy 4 gallons of gas, how much is it going to cost you? $12.
How did you get that out of C equals 3G?
If I buy 4 gallons, G is 4. If G is 4, then C is, there you go. You see what I'm trying to tell you. The other thing you could have said, well, I'm just going to go up 3 and over 1. Right? But you have to be careful because these are not the same units. Does everybody see that? Right? Okay, so let's just make sure we're good. The number of delivered toys is 3 times the number of crates. So T equals what? 3C. It's the same exact problem. It's kind of dumb. Right? So if you have 0 crates, you have how many? 0 toys. If you have 1 crate, you have what? 3 toys. 2, you have? Not sure, guys. Does everybody see? Simple, right? It's very simple. All right? That's a direct relationship. Goes through the origin. All right? You're always multiplying the domain by 3. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, hopefully you're feeling good. Now, again, I'd like to do a really good job on the review today. With you guys, I'm going to do the odds, and with my other class, I'll do the what? Evens, and then everything will be posted. All right? Hopefully we can do more than the odds. I'd like to do odds and some of the evens with you guys. All right? So keep it like this, and everything will be good. All right? Here we go. All right? So, starting the review. All right, it says here, where does the graph of y equals negative 3x minus 18 intersect the x-axis? If it intersects the x-axis, the y value is what? 0. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Now, please, listen, make your note here now. Make your note of what I'm saying. Y equals 0. So you plug in 0 for y. 0 equals negative 3x minus 18. 3x equals negative 18. X equals what? Negative 6. Now, when you take a quiz or something like this and it says find the y or find the x, the y is 0. If the y is 0, you could have eliminated a and b without, if you're a good test taker. Does everybody see what I'm saying?
Why is it the 3x? You put it's negative 3x and the other positive.
Didn't I solve it?
Yeah, but you put like Siri, you said 3x equals negative 18. Like on the second. You didn't put
0 equals negative 3x minus 18, right?
Yeah.
So I moved the negative 3x to the left,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So x equals negative 6. Is everybody good with that?
Yeah.
So, of course, my answer is D. Find the slope. So again, let's do number 3. All right. How many questions are here?
40.
All right. So listen, what I'm going to do, guys, I feel like if we hustle through, I'd rather work all the problems with you guys. All right. So you guys, if you have a question, I want you to ask, but I'm going to move. All right. I'm going to move quick because I'd like for you to be able to ask me if you have an issue. All right. Plus, honestly, it's really not that hard. And not all the questions require a bunch of work. All right. So here we go. Let's just do the slope. Now, the main thing I would like for you to write down is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's a formula you need. All right. That's a formula you need. All right. So m equals 7 minus 4 over 3 plus 1. Now is the time where you're supposed to look at it and you're supposed to make sure you understand, all right, why it's 3 plus 1. All right, because we did 3 minus negative 1, right? All right, now listen, I'm not going to ask a bunch of questions now. I already fussed at someone today about don't sit there and have questions and go, oh my gosh, everybody's going to think I'm so dumb. No one cares, honestly. No one cares. All right, that's only you. All right, if you have a question, speak up so you can get the help because it's simple. All right, it's simple. All right, you may not see it, and that's okay, but speak up. All right, the quiz is tomorrow. All right, it's your grade, no one else's. No one else cares about your grade. So your final answer here is what? 3 over 4. Okay? 3 over 4. All right, next. All right, m equals 2 minus 2, which is automatically what? 0. Right? So remind yourself, if 0 is in the numerator, it's 0. If 0 is in the denominator, it's undefined. Okay? So right off the bat, we got a C. Vertical lines. Can you ski down the vertical line? No, so that would be undefined. Okay? Undefined. All right? Now, look, here's how we're not going to calculate all the slopes here. We're going to be smart. Is A positive or negative? Positive. You're going up the mountain, correct? Because you read left to right, so it's not A. B is what? Positive. Now, so does everybody agree? I think the slopes are either -3 or -1/3. You agree? So which one would be steeper? So I think the answer is D. Does everybody agree with me on this? Now we're going to verify that, but I'm saying that's the logic that I'd like for you to understand when you're taking a standardized test. All right? Because they know kids mess up what? 1/3 and 3. So let's figure out if I'm right. So here's a point, and here's a point. Down what? 3 over 1. That slope is -3. On this one, I went down 1 and over 3, so that's -1/3. Is everybody happy with that? So we were correct. D. Does everybody agree? All right, let's move on. All right. Now, number 6. All the word problems are important, but they're basically just what? Find the slope. What? Quick.
So if you said C, or if you said 3 is the same as 1/3.
I did not say that.
Oh.
I said 3 and 1/3 are your options.
Oh. Okay.
Right? It's either 3 or 1/3. Right? And the reason why kids make a mistake is because some kids think it's x over y instead of y over x for slope. Okay? You with me? Good. Come on.
So isn't A like the same as D, but A is negative?
Yes, that's correct.
So then
A is positive.
But it's going into like the bottom of the
It's here you are. You're going what? You're going up the mountain, so the slope is positive.
Oh, that.
You hear me? You're going up, so the slope is positive.
Yeah.
You with me on that?
Yeah.
All right. Over here, let's just have some more fun. The slope is what? Negative, because you're going down the mountain.
Oh, okay.
You with me?
Yeah,
That's
so
how you
it's-
tell. You always read from left to right.
Okay, I get it.
You always read from left to right. Okay. So now, in 1996, there were 171 area codes in the United States. In 2007, there were 215. Find the rate of change. All right? So, in 1996, there were 171, right? And in 2007, there were what? 215. So does everybody understand how I'm writing it just as an ordered pair for you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So again, it's just a slope. Do you agree? And how did it tip me off even if I didn't know? Well, I looked at my answers, right? So you're looking at them like they're ordered pairs, all right? So what's 215
It's 45.
minus 171 over 2007 minus 1996? Connor, what was that?
It's 4 over 11.
44
over 11.
44 over 11, which is 4. Now, are we increasing or decreasing as the years go by? Are you getting more or less? Increasing. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So it can't be what?
Negative.
It can't be negative. Does everybody agree with that? Now, what does that mean? Listen to me. That means you're increasing 4, I want you to write this down, area codes per what? That's correct. Very smart. 4 area codes per year. That's what that means. It's a rate. All right? Area codes per year. That's what you're increasing. Now, does it necessarily have to be 4 every year? No. It's like an average. All right? It could be 4 one year, 6 one year, 2 the next year. All right? But on average. All right? Number 7. Suppose y varies directly as x. When y is 26, x is 8. Now, I'm going to try to show you something today. I'm not changing it up. But do they ask for an equation here? No, they do not, right? So now watch. If they don't ask for the equation and they don't ask for k, right, it is just a proportion. Y over x is always equal to what? Y over x, because y over x is always equal to what?
Okay.
Everybody hear me on that? So now watch how you can do this. Y is 26, x is 8. Find x when y is 65. Does everybody see that? All right, I'll push it up. Does everybody see that now? Come on. Who's asking a question on that now, right? Does everybody understand that k is always the same? So if you do y divided by x, it's always going to be what? Y divided by x. So now, to me, that's the easiest way to do it, because I don't have to figure out what k is and I don't have to substitute in. Everybody with me? Sometimes they'll say, what's the equation? And you can't do it that way. All right? Sometimes they'll say, what's k? And you have to just figure out what k is. Yes?
So I have a question back on number 6.
Okay, so in this final problem here, what are we doing? Cross multiplying. So take out your calculator if you need to and go 8 times 65 and then divide it by 26. 20. So that's my answer. All right, come on, James. Stay with me, please. All right? Now, what was your question again?
So for 6, what was the formula you used? I thought it was.
Stop doing that. Don't stop doing it. It doesn't matter what you're thinking. It's the slope formula. It's the slope formula. You hear me? So it's y minus y over x minus x.
But how do you find that? Or how can we guide what the slope out for what normal?
James, I have no idea what you just said.
Like normally when problems when it says find the percent of change, I thought it was.
It's not saying find, it doesn't say find the percent of change. There's a big difference, although that's a good observation. You hear me? Percent is different. The percent of increase or decrease, that's what you're making a mistake on. It's not asking that. The percent of increase is the change divided by the original amount. But they're not asking for that. They're asking for a rate of change. All right, so I need you to try to think about it. When somebody says a percent of increase or decrease, you're finding how much it went from one to the other. Here, you're telling me how much did it increase every year. So that's what I try to emphasize here. There are 4 area codes per year. You understand the difference? All right, yes, quick.
Okay, so you cross multiply to get 8.65.
8 times 65, kiddo.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Cross multiplying. 8
Okay.
times 65.
I got really confused.
I see that. 8
Okay.
times 65 divided by 26. All right. Carry on. Here we go. Which line has a y-intercept of -2? So for these, it's a little confusing for me. So what I did was I would highlight where my x-axis and where my y-axis is, right? Is that it? No, it's the 1 over.
Right?
Yep, you're right. It's 1 over. How do I know that? Because of the arrows. You see these arrows right here? Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, I'm agreeing with you. And on your test, it won't, it won't be so, it'll be obvious. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? Right, so that's how you tell. All right? So now, circle the y-intercept at -2, right? So isn't that the y-intercept is -2? So that looks like point or line what? I think it's line P. Are we good with that?
No.
Who said no? What's the y-intercept? Where the line crosses the y-axis, right? So here's -1. It's all right. Here's -1. Here's -2, right? You see that now?
Oh, the line. Okay.
That's right. He goes with that. All right? That's not the most clear anyway. All right? So it says, which line is the graph of y equals 2x plus 4? All right, well, is it the x-axis? That's kind of dumb, right? Does everybody agree with that? That's kind of dumb, so it's not the x-axis. So, does everybody agree? Did we talk about, this is the y-intercept, right? 4 is the y-intercept. Did I tell you that yet? Okay, so listen, the way we would handle this then is we would just, listen, you can omit this if you want, but I'm still going to tell you how to do it. All right? I need to find which one has a slope of what, though. We did talk about this. Which one has a slope of 2? Do you agree with that? Which one has a slope of 2? All right? So now I'm looking. I definitely know it's not what? It's not t, because that slope is what? Negative, right? Come on, guys. Now you got to listen to what I'm saying. T is negative, right? So now I'm going to look at P. So here I am right here. And here's another point, right? So this would be up 1 and over what? So is that slope right there 1/2, right? So then I know it's not that. Do you agree? All right. So now I'm going to check out line L. Here's a point right there. Here's a point right here. Do you agree? So I'm going up how many? And over, up 2 and over 1. So is that slope 2? Yeah, so then that would be our answer. All right, L. All right, because that's the only line that has a slope of 2. What?
So for where you marked first mark like on the line P,
Yeah.
couldn't you just go down 2 and then be on E?
Could I go down 2? Going down 2 would put me right here, right?
But couldn't you just move it over on that?
Yeah, you could go here. Exactly. Up 1 over 2. It's still 1/2. Remember, it doesn't matter what 2 points you choose. You with me on that or not?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Come on, Ryan. All right, good. All right, here we go. Now, on this one right here. Now, if you plug in 0 for x, I should get what here? 0, right? Is the answer A?
No.
Because it's 0 what? Is everybody with me? This is like using a table, but you have to figure out what table goes to what graph, right? Instead of creating our own table, they created the table for you. Hello? A is not correct, right? All right, let's try B. If I plug in 0, what do I get? Is that a possibility? Yes. If I plug in 0 for C, do I get 14? So that's out. If I plug in 0 for D, do I get 14? So now I have to plug another point in. So for B, if I plug in 1, what do I get? And then plus 14. I plug in 1 for x, guys.
Oh.
So 1 goes here for x. What's 8 times 1? Plus 14. So that still works. So now I'm going to try D. If I plug 4 or 1 in for 14, what do I get? 14 plus 14. So that's not the right answer. So the correct answer was what? Now, do you see how I did that? Right? You're creating the table. You just have to figure out what table goes to which one. Quickly, what?
So it's asking like which function represents the whole table?
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. Every number should work. If I plug in 3 for B, guess what I'm going to get? 38. If I plug in 4, guess what I'm going to get? 46. All 4 of those numbers work. What?
Okay, so for 8x, you multiply it by 1 and then you add it 14?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
And then I plug in 2, and if I do 2 times 8, I get 16. 16 plus 14 is 30. You with me? All right. Which one of those is linear, guys? That should be obvious for you. B, right?
Oh,
All right, here we go. Now we're going to graph using the x and y intercepts. So if you recall, you're making your table here. X, y, 0, and 0. If the y value is 0, I get 0 equals x minus 3. So x equals what?
positive.
X equals 3, right? And if x equals 0, y equals what? Negative 3. Everybody happy with that? All right, so now let's plot 3, 0, and 0, negative 3. And now? Everybody good? Yeah.
I'm confused at how I got 3.
I didn't get, you mean how did I get 3? I plugged 0 in for y. So my equation is y equals x minus 3. I plug 0 in for y. 0 equals x minus 3. And now I do what? Add 3 to both sides. You hear me? Now what? Y equals x minus 3. I plug what this time? 0 in for,
X.
there you go. Okay. So here we go, same principle. X, y, 0, 0. If the y value is 0, what's x, guys?
2.
2, good. Is everybody with me?
Mhm.
And if the x is 0, negative 5. Is that better now? Right. Allie? Yeah.
Wait, so if y is 0, how is x 2?
If y is 0,
Oh, never mind.
Good.
I see it.
all right, so let's go 2, 0, and then 0, negative 5. And then, draw it. Everybody good? All right, let's do 14. One more time. All right, everybody try to do it first. If y is 0, then x is what?
-2.
2, right?
Oh, wait, pop.
If x is 0,
It's the.
and look, verify yourself now. All right, so now 2, 0, 0, 3. All righty, guys. All right, here we go. 15. Find the slope of the line again. So, negative 7 plus 8 over 6 minus 4. 1 over 2. So far, so good? 5 minus 5. 0 minus 5. 0 over -5, so it is
Undefined.
good. 0.
Oh, wait, what's
Remember, it's
the difference?
undefined.
Is there a difference between 0
Undefined if 0's in the denominator.
Oh.
Right? Undefined if 0's in the denominator. 0 if it's in the numerator.
Okay, wait, but if you went the other way.
If you went the other way, listen to me. It would just be 5 minus 5 over 5 minus 0. 0 over 5 is still 0. Shh.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Right? Okay. Again, the word problem. So what's this probably going to be about? Slope, right? Right? Most of the time. Okay? So it says, it is expected that this many thermal units of energy will be consumed in 2015. In 2003, you consumed 421 quadrillion BTUs. What is the expected rate of change? All right? From 2003 to 2015. All right? So in 2000, what? In 2003, there was what? 563. And in 2015, there was what? 421. Hold on. Yes, you're right. It is backwards. All right, thank you. Okay, now, listen. Here's what I want to try to explain to you now, guys. Please look up. All right? This is, listen, please watch. This is BTU per year. Listen to me now. Look at your answers. BTU per year. So the BTU over year. Does everybody hear me on that? Listen to what I'm saying now. That's important. Stop doing something and listen. You understand where it says BTU per year, BTU per year, BTU per year, right? So that's telling you that what? The Y values are the what? BTUs, and the X values are the years. I would probably say 99% of the time, when they read something out to you, the X is first and the Y is second. Is everybody good on that? All right. So again, I didn't get as far as I wanted to, but that is just the slope. So today in my other class, I'm going to start at 18 and try to get through the rest. All right. So look for the video for the second half. All right. And then come in the morning or the afternoon if you need some help.